It's a Monday, and that means another KZ. That's pretty much how it goes. They sometimes do really well, like the KZ-ZS10 Pro and I want to say the AS10 are two that I really enjoyed. This is like a fake unboxing because I actually pulled this out right away and I graphed it. And then I listened to it and then I put it back in the box just so I could do an unbox. The graph and the listening impressions, actually, you can see the red bar where AK is. They got it recessed and they've got a secondary peak that's out where some people believe Stage and Sparkle gets its psychoacoustic origins, because when you stick something into your ears, you can't get an out-of-head experience or a large stage. It's all psychoacoustic illusions, and a lot of times that occurs. It's definitely post-AK. It's pre-16. It's somewhere around there, and they look like they might have hit it right there. It sounded spacious. It sounded really nice, to be honest with you. So let me go ahead and do this in reverse order. Usually you unbox and you do this, but I used, by the way, Fearless cable for my. I always use the same cable when I do my graphs. If it's a 2-pin, exact same cable all the time. I don't believe cables make a difference, but impedance and all that stuff, and it works well, and it's got the hook, so I know that left and right and the phase is correct. So we got that. Let's go ahead and take a look. Get you off. See the dynamic sitting in there. Now, I'm not a KZ connoisseur, like I don't know it better than other people, but for some reason this stem seems just a teeny bit longer, or it's the way that it is. I'd have to compare it, but when I took the tip off it, I thought there's not going to be a fit issue with this. I got a lot of KZs, and a lot of I don't do videos for, much to the chagrin of the people that send it to me, but they make a lot of stuff that just doesn't appeal to me. And then, like, throwing spaghetti on the wall. I don't know if you're familiar with that term. Let me explain it to you. If you throw spaghetti on the wall, don't do that. But if you did, a couple pieces might just stick to the wall. Everything else will fall, but KZ reminds me of that. They throw a bunch of stuff out, and they'll get a couple hits, and they seem to be satisfied with that. This might be one of those. This actually sounds good. Should it replace something else that you've got? I don't know. I will say that I've been talking about how psychoacoustic illusions are created. For example, two low-frequency events happening at the same time that mask each other. What they sometimes will do is around 330, where the fundamental bass ends, they say cut narrow, boost wide. That's one of the very, very simple rules of mastering. And if you do a little teeny notch around 330 or 300, you can help give yourself the illusion, because mixers do this, of being some kind of separation between the kick drum and the stand-up bassist, because they're doing the same frequency maybe at the same time. Does it work? It does to my ears, and I know for a fact that boosting up certain frequencies post-AK will give the sense of wider, airy space where there should be none, because this is just sticking in your ear and blocking out everything. And stuff that's got tune down here might sound a little bit congested. So that's kind of neat right there. That's far enough away not to be stimulating any sibilant or harshness on most of the instruments. I heard cymbal crash on Aerosmith, and it actually sounded good. So that big slope coming up from 1K is rather steep, but it's kind of typical KZ, actually. I'm going to go ahead and listen to this some more. Do you want to see the unbox? How many KZ unboxes do you have to see? Here we go. Warranty card or something? How to use it? Cable? Change your cable. When these guys change their cable, I'll be convinced that they really want to step up their game. I have no idea why they don't change the cable. Interesting. We'll do a full review on this. This will be one of the 1 out of 5 KZs that I do a full review on, because it does sound interesting. It sounds like if somebody said, you know what, I want something with a big stage, I'm always reminded of the Fido A83, which had this massive spike just a little bit past 10K, if I recall correctly, or at 10K, and it was a very wide, didn't have a lot of other claims to fame, but that definitely was an indicator of how that kind of elevation at that area, 10, 11 roughly, will give you a very seemingly wide presentation. It's got an elevated base by a dynamic driver. It's a V-shaped, but it's got a plateau. 8K is not even in the top 3 peaks in the treble, which is always a nice, comfortable thing. That's actually what I was checking for when I first looked. One is I thought these sound like they've got a big presence, and I'm not getting ice picked. So where is that 8K spike? And well, there it is. It's not a spike, actually. It's a divot, I guess you could say. A little bump. It's a zit. Review coming. This is the KZ-ZSX 12. Let me mention that. Believe it is 6 on each side, so that would make it a dynamic plus 5 balanced armatures on each side, which gives you a total of 12. I can even do that math. And the review will be coming.
Shelling my name to be precise,